Hey guys, Sean C. Phillips here with our brand new DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video today. Taking a go out today, see the things came out, see the things are on sale today. Now today, new release-wise, some of the big things that are coming out is there's a bunch of really cool 4K releases coming out. Like Beetlejuice is coming out to 4K for the first time, as well as Goonies, as well as both of the Sherlock Holmes films. Those are all releasing on 4K for the first time. And I know with the Goonies and Beetlejuice, both of those ones are going to have Best Buy exclusive steelbooks of those ones. I'm not sure if the Sherlock Holmes ones are going to have steelbooks at Best Buy, but I feel like though the steelbooks for the Goonies and Beetlejuice though are going to be ones that sell out really fast at Best Buy. So it'd be interesting to see though if they have those ones, you know, still when I get there. But like I said, would love to see those ones in person. And I will be talking about Beetlejuice and the Goonies at the end of this video, as well as a whole bunch of other, you know, Blu-ray, DVD, and 4K reviews for things I received to review and talk about for you guys. Some really cool stuff, like stuff from Arrow Video. Arrow Video's first ever 4K releases. So really cool stuff. So like I said, definitely stay tuned for those at the end of this video. And as always too, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of the DVDs, Blu-rays, and 4Ks that are reviewed at the end of this video. If you guys have seen them, what you guys thought of them. Also, if you guys plan on picking any of them up. But also though, you know, since it's the first Tuesday of the month, you know, Walmart changes out the actual section and everything. So they should have in a whole bunch of cool new releases and stuff. So definitely looking forward to seeing what new stuff they have as well. But anyway though, guys, let's get going and see what we can find today. Into Target we go. Yeah, and in here today, I'm not really expecting them to have too much out, but I am interested in seeing though if they will have, you know, the Goonies 4K or the, you know, the 4K of Beetlejuice. I feel like they might, but you never know, you know what I mean? And so often too, Target never changes out the stuff. I know I've said that a lot, but sometimes you go in here and it's all the same things and everything, but we'll see though. Fingers crossed, hopefully, you know, some new stuff is changed out. Also though, I'm gonna put a link below though for you guys to see the trailer on Facebook for the film Strix, which I filmed a little over a month or so ago, and you guys can see me in the trailer for that one. Also though, on the 4th, the campaign for the upcoming anthology movie, The Macabre, is going to be launching. If you guys didn't see it as well, I want to put a link to Kevin Smith actually is, you know, promoting, you know, made a video, you know, talking about and endorsing the campaign for the movie. So that's really cool to have him talking about a project that I'm involved in. So really excited about that. Like I said, I'm going to put links below for both of those ones so you guys can see those things though. Well, looking here in the front though, they did put some of the new stuff that was out last Tuesday here. Like they didn't have King of Staten Island out here in the front last Tuesday. I'll be talking about that one though at the end of this video. I like this one a lot though. Very sad film, but really is worth checking out. And then they, you know, they have Infamous, that was last Tuesday. But I've noticed though, in the actual section now though, that's where they seem to put all the new stuff. But I did see here on the side though, some of these new ones here. These are kind of interesting. They're like kind of done like almost like a book cover or something like that. I don't even know how to explain the kind of artwork on these ones, but they're like a whole bunch of new ones here. Like they have Aquaman here, that's $12.99 for this one. Ready Player One here. And these are all the ones though, it's like the same edition of the movie. It just has like the paper thing in the front. So you kind of like, it doesn't, you can't really even put it in here. So you kind of almost, with these ones, kind of almost have to keep them sealed, you know, if you want these ones. Or you could kind of put the paper underneath of it a little bit, but it might bend it up. But this one here for The Shining is pretty cool. The Shining one here. I like the artwork on that one. And then this one here for the new It film. They have It right here. That one's $9.99. And this is not a bad price too for the $14.99 for the Lord of the Rings trilogy here. Like I said, I think these have kind of like, almost like book covers or something. The Hobbit trilogy one here is $14.99. Crazy Rich Asians here. The Wizard of Oz. That one's pretty cool for Wizard of Oz. What is this one? Oh, Beetlejuice. So they have a Beetlejuice one here too. So that's cool. For the Beetlejuice, that's $7.59 for that. And then the Goonies here. So these are definitely cool new additions. Like I said, they're the same ones, but they just have, you know, the new artwork on the front. Let's check on the side over here just to make sure there's nothing else as well. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything else new here though, but we'll head over to the section though and see. Yeah, so I went over to the section and they did have some other new stuff. I didn't see any of the 4K ones over there. So if you guys went to Target though, let me know if you saw any of the 4Ks like Beetlejuice or Goonies or the, you know, Sherlock Holmes movies. But they did have the movie directed by Jon Stewart, starring Steve Carell. They won Irresistible. I think that was what it was called, Irresistible. I will be talking about that at the end of this video. That one though was $24.99. They also had the Megan Fox movie called Rogue, which is one I'm really curious about that one. If any of you guys have seen that movie, Let me know if that one is worth watching or not. It was like $18, so I don't really want to risk it because I don't know too much about it. It sort of seemed like it was kind of like, from what I was reading about it, it sort of sounded like a little bit like that movie Ghost in the Darkness, which is one I really liked a lot. You know, a Val Kilmer movie. It sort of sounded somewhat like that a little bit. Like I said, that was $17.99. But if you guys have watched that one, let me know though if that one is worth picking up or not. I'll see if it's cheaper too at Walmart. It might be. It just seemed a little bit high for $17.99 for that one. But they also had a Young Sheldon, the complete third season, on DVD in there, and that one was on $19.99 for that one. But now though, we're head over to Walmart. Like I said, it's just right here, so we're head over there. Might go to the other Walmart as well, the one that doesn't lock stuff up too, since, you know, I'm definitely going here first though, because we've gone to the other one that doesn't lock things up first, and there's been many times when they didn't put anything out at all. So I won't make that mistake this time, but head over to Walmart now. Into Walmart we go. But we'll keep our fingers crossed, and, you know, hopefully they put out the new stuff in here. You never know. Like when it's the first Tuesday of the month, that's, like I said, that's the big time when Walmart changes out all their stuff and puts in the whole section, gets a bunch of new things. But you never know. Sometimes nothing is changed at all. But I always come to this one first because the one where things are not locked up, I've been there many times on the first Tuesday, and it's not one new thing out at all. It's like absolutely nothing. You would think you went there on a Monday, or you think you were there the wrong day of the week, but hopefully there's some stuff out. We'll see though. Well, luckily enough, looking here, it does look like they have out most of the new stuff. I haven't peeked over here in the section. Here they usually have like this TV that loops a million times over with this music that I always wonder if it's copyrighted, so I never walk down there too much unless I can talk over that music. But they do have this one out. This came out last Tuesday, but I really love this movie. This stars Elizabeth Debicki, you know, who's in the new movie Tenet. But this movie was really good. Like, I really like this one. You guys should definitely check this one out if you guys get a chance. There is a Blu-ray of this as well. It's like a burn-on-demand one, but it is a press disc. But they do have, though, in here Rogue, and it's cheaper in here. It's $14.96. I might risk getting this one. I heard some really negative reviews on it when I was looking at them, but there's something about it that kind of sounds interesting to me. I don't know. I always like Megan Fox too, and this sort of sounds sort of interesting. I don't know. I might get this one for $14.99. It's like I said, $17.99 was a little high. $14.99 isn't terrible for this one, and it's $12.96 though for the DVD. And they do have Irresistible here. Doesn't look like they have the Blu-ray, but the DVD is $17.96. But over here, though, there are some new things over here. Like they have the new Asylum movie here, you know, the Fast and Fierce here, you know, that stars DMX. I haven't seen this one, though, but I definitely need to check this one out, because some of the people who were in this one was one that I worked on with Asylum recently, a new one. I didn't talk too much about that one yet, because it hasn't really been announced, like the title or anything yet. And they do have this one here, Terrified, which, if you guys have seen this movie, though, let me know if this one is worth watching. I remember hearing some decent things about this one. This one's only $9.96. I know that there's a Blu-ray as well. This one here, I will have a review of this one at the end of this video. This one called Z. This is actually a pretty good, creepy, like, movie with a kid that has like an imaginary friend and like weird things going on with it. But this one, like I said, I'll be talking about this at the end of this video. That one's $9.96. This one, I just got a copy of this one to review today, so I'll have a review of this one in my video next Tuesday, this Blood Quantum movie here. That one is $9.96. This one also has a Blu-ray release. One of the other ones here, which I'll be talking about at the end of this video, is a movie called Time Loop, which is kind of like one of those time travel kind of movies where you have all these parallel universes and everything kind of goes really wrong, and he has like all these different versions of himself. This one's $9.96 for that one. Also this one, the Haunting of Margam Castle. This one released today, and this one's $9.96 for that one. I'll have a review of this one soon for this one here. Also this movie here, you know, Widow's Point, that released today. That one is $9.96 for that one. I'll be talking about that one at the end of this video as well. And these are some other ones today. This movie from, you know, ITN called Copper Bill. That one is $9.96. As well as, you know, 90 Feet from Home. That one came out today as well, and that one's $9.96. But other than that, though, here, you know, in the front and everything, I don't see anything else different. Well, peak, though, sometimes around in this area is where they would put new 4Ks, but I don't see any of the the new ones here, though. It doesn't look like it. I don't see any spaces or anything for them here. So like I said, I don't know if they're going to have those. They might be mixed in over here, but we're peeking here though and see. But in here though, they do have a whole bunch of new stuff in here. Like they have these ones that definitely have to look these ones up. There's one here called like Killer Tattooist, and these ones are DVD Blu-ray combos. That one's like $14.96. There's also the one over here though called Baby Yaga. That one is from Shout Factory Scream Factory line. That one is $9.96 as well. They have the Killer Tattooist DVD for $9.96. These ones here are called Voodoo Apocalypse, which I've never heard anything about these ones. These are both $14.96 for the Blu-ray, $9.96 for the DVD. This one here called Ill Final Contagion here. It's like some kind of a zombie movie, and that's $14.96 for the Blu-ray, $9.96 for the DVD. Another one here called The Nearest Human Being, with Natalia Dyer here, you know, from Stranger Things, I believe. I don't know anything about that one either. And another one called like Madison, A Fast Friendship. So definitely a bunch of other ones over here. Like I said, these, since they're locked up, you can't really look at them. So I really don't know. But out of these ones though, the one that looks the most interesting is that Ill Final Contagion one. Like I said, I don't know anything about it though. So I might go to the other Walmart so I can like look at them on the shelf and like look at the back. Because otherwise it's kind of hard to look them up. You know what I mean? For some of these ones. But I think I'm going to end up getting this Rogue one, though. Like I said, it might be not great, but I'll give it a chance. I'll just give it, and it's also unlocked, so it's easy to get in here. But it's always so weird how, like, some of them are locked up, some of them aren't. I wish that all the new ones they would just put here and then switch them out, you know what I mean? Then it would be so much easier to get them, though. But yeah, we'll probably head to the other Walmart, though, you know, and see if the other ones are, you know, not locked up there, though. Well, they wouldn't be as long as they're out, and then we can look at them better. Yeah, so like I was saying, I ended up getting, you know, the Rogue movie. And like I said, I know I read reviews that were not great on it, but it sounded, you know, kind of interesting, though. We'll see with this one. But we're going to head to the other Walmart now and see if the stuff isn't locked up. You know, it won't be more like not locked up, because that one doesn't lock it up, at least as of now it hasn't. But more if I can, you know, if the stuff is out and I can look at it. But that location, though, can sometimes be pretty bad with stuff being out. But we'll see, though, because a couple of those ones looked kind of interesting, but I don't know for sure, though, if I would just risk it until I can kind of look at the back a little bit. And I found a little bit of stuff online about them, but not a lot, though. So we'll see. Hopefully they have the stuff out there. Into the second Walmart we go. So fingers crossed, you know, hopefully this one put out the new stuff, because like I said, I've had a lot of times this one where they didn't put out one new thing at all. So we'll see, though. If you don't mind, would you open up for me, please? Thank you, I appreciate it. In here, though, they do have some of the new stuff out. It is very, very, like, there's a lot of, like, empty spaces and stuff in here. They do have Rogue in here, though. But over here, though, in the corner, though, this area, though, is all, like, totally picked over. There's, like, absolutely, like, nothing new out in this one. So as you can see, though, like, I looked over here, and there are some of the new things out. So luckily enough, there are some of the stuff changed out. Like they have the Voodoo Apocalypse one here, which is like $14.96 for that one. Like I was saying, if you guys have seen this one, let me know how this one was. Here's a look, though, at the back, though, at the Killer Tattooist movie here. This one looks kind of interesting. I think I'm going to get, though, this Ill, the Final Contagion movie here. This one looks like the most interesting of all these ones. So I think I'm, like I said, going to get this one. This one looked kind of interesting as well. But if you guys have seen any of these ones, though, let me know, you know, how these ones were. But other than that, though, there's a lot of the stuff, though, that isn't out. Like some of the stuff that was in that one section, like all these ones are like empty in here. And on the side, they didn't change them out. They do have the Baby Yaga movie here, though. That's another one. If you guys have seen that one, though, let me know how that one was, though. But yeah, I definitely think I'm going to get this one, though, because this one seemed the most interesting out of all those ones, though. Yeah, so in there, though, I ended up getting that, you know, the the Final Contagion movie. That, like I said, that sounded kind of interesting. I was reading the back of this one. I wouldn't want to get any of the other ones, though, because one thing I've noticed, too, is I've seen, though, some of these Echo Bridge ones show up in the Dollar Tree every so often. So I feel like some of them might end up showing up in there, because there was, like, the last round about 2 weeks ago or so, there was a handful of the Echo Bridge ones that popped up in there. This one, like, I don't see the horror ones as much pop up. So some of those ones might, though. But if you have seen any of them ones, like the Tattooist one, or any of the other ones I was showing, let me know, though, if any of them are worth picking up, though, for sure, you know, as well, though. Like I said, though, now I'm going to head to Best Buy. Let's see if we can find anywhere that has the 4Ks today. And I know that, like I said, they were having the Steelbooks in there, so we'll see if they still have any of them left in there. into Best Buy we go. Well, I do see Beetlejuice here. I don't see the Steelbook of Beetlejuice here, as I thought. That one was already gone. But it was going to be $29.99 if they had it. But they do have the 4K for $24.99. And they still have these ones left. The Inception 4K one that came out, I believe, last Tuesday. And the Town 4K. So I believe, like I said, I believe both those ones were last Tuesday. But other than that, though, like I said, I had a feeling those Steelbooks would go really fast. But I don't see anything else new here in the front, though. We'll head over the actual section, though, to see if they have anything else there, though. The other things that came out today, like they have Rogue here. That one is $14.99 as well. So it seems like the only place that had this one for more money was, you know, at Target. That was $17.99 for that one. Irresistible. This one is way cheaper here, because this one, I think, was like $25 or something like that in Target, or maybe something like that, I believe. That one is $22.99 for that one. Other than that, though, I do see they do have both the Sherlock Holmes movies here on 4K, and both these ones are $24.99 for these ones. But other than that, though, I don't see anything else different. I don't see any of the Goonies Steelbooks or any of the Goonies 4Ks at all. Like I was saying with those Steelbooks, though, I had a strong feeling, though, those ones would sell out really quick. You always want to check over here in this section. It's kind of like the spillover section, and sometimes they end up putting things over here as well. Some of the new stuff, I've noticed that. Doesn't look like they have any of those, but like I was saying, I had a strong feeling, though, that those particular Steelbooks were going to sell out really, really fast. And I was right with those ones. But if you guys ended up finding any of those, let me know, though, in your store. So anyway, though, guys, that was all for my DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video today. Let me know in the comments below, though, if you guys went to Best Buy and you ended up seeing any of the Steelbooks in there for those ones. And like I was saying, I don't believe there was a Steelbook for the Sherlock Holmes movies. And since there's nobody around, I can take this off. But also, though, you know, let me know in the comments below, though, what you guys picked up on DVD, Blu-ray, or 4K, if you guys ended up picking up anything new today, as well as be sure to let me know as well, you know, what you guys thought of the DVDs, Blu-rays, and 4Ks that I reviewed at the end of this video. But also, though, I want to make sure to mention, people had been asking me, you know, if I watched Bill and Ted Face the Music, and I did check that one out. I actually love that movie. I thought that it was like 100% worth watching. I ended up renting it off of Amazon. So you can rent it for like $20, or you can buy it for $25. I probably should have bought it, so then I would have had it on 4K in there, but I know 100% be buying the Blu-ray or 4K of that one when that comes out. But it was, I don't want to ruin anything about the story, but definitely check it out, guys. 100% worth checking out. The only thing about it that I thought wasn't as cool as the original two films, though, was the movie score, because David Newman did the music in the first two movies, and I loved his music. Like, he was amazing. It really set the whole mood of the film. So that was the only thing that I thought was lacking a little bit, was the score. Another thing, though, I did watch too was on Hulu, one of the Hulu original movies called The Binge with Vince Vaughn, and that's one, if you guys have Hulu, that's definitely a worth watching one. It's just really ridiculous. It's like a parody of The Purge, and it's like in the world, all drugs and alcohol are totally illegal except for one day of the year, and it's about these kids that are all going to go and party this one night. It's like, and Vince Vaughn's trying to like stop the one because he's trying to get with the one's daughter. It was a really fun, super ridiculous movie. But let me know in the comments below too, anything that you guys have checked out lately on streaming, or if you guys have watched Bill and Ted Face the Music, let me know what you guys thought of that one, or anything, if you guys watched The Binge, or like any new TV shows you guys are watching, or anything like that. But anyway, though, guys, thanks so much for watching, subscribing. Like I always say, if you guys enjoy these videos, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Now stay tuned for the brand new DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K reviews. Now, before we get to the brand new DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K reviews, FYE sent over some really cool, you know, brand new FYE exclusive Steelbooks here to show you guys. And these are some really cool ones here. The first one here is the Tommy Boy Steelbook. This is one of those movies. I put the sticker on here just to show it was FYE exclusive. This is one of those absolutely most watched movies. I have watched this movie throughout the years so many times. I also liked Black Sheep as well, with David Spade and you know, Chris Farley together. But I would say Tommy Boy, though, is my favorite. You know, between both of the movies. And I've watched the like I said, Black Sheep just as much, I would say. But Tommy Boy, as a movie, though, is the one I like the best. This one here, with John Cusack film Better Off Dead. I love the image on this one here. I'll show you guys, though, a look at the back here, and then here's a look, though, inside at the artwork inside of the disc. You know, inside of the case here. I'll take the disc out here, and then we'll take a quick look here at the Ferris Bueller's Day Off Steelbook here as well. And this one includes a digital copy of the film here as well. But here's a look, though, at the front, and here's a look, though, at the back here. You see Ferris, like, it's like, so it kind of folds out to him in the car. So it's like him laying in the car for this Steelbook. And here's a look, though, inside here as well. But like I said, some really cool FY exclusive Steelbook releases here. Like I said, just want you guys know that these ones here were available from FY, and you guys can find these ones in store or on their website. Now, the first one I got here is from Arrow Video. Now, this one is the first of 2 releases here from Arrow Video. They have now started releasing titles on 4K. Yes, when I heard that, I was so excited that Arrow Video is now starting to release 4K releases. Now, this one here is the first of 2, and I have both ones here to show you guys. Now, keep in mind, though, with these 4K releases, these ones only include the 4K versions of the films. They do not include Blu-ray versions of the movie, so only get these editions if you guys have 4K capacities. But the first one here is the movie which stars Vin Diesel, and this one here is Pitch Black. This one also has reversible artwork here. It has like the orange tinted, yellow orange tinted version of the cover as well. But this movie, though, I remember when the first time I saw this one, I remember like renting it at like Blockbuster back in the day, and I didn't know much going, at all going into this one. And I believe this was the first era movie that I saw that starred Vin Diesel. I don't think I had seen anything else with him that I remember, and I think this might have been before Fast and Furious. I believe this was from 1999. I think Fast and Furious was like the first one. It was 2001, I believe. I might be wrong about that, but I know for sure this is the first one I had saw, but with him in it. But I remember when I watched this one, how much I loved it, and it was one of those movies where I went and watched it again, like right after. And the movie kind of reminded me a little bit of the movie Screamers, slightly. Kind of had that kind of vibe, but it was about this ship that ends up crash lands on this planet, and Vin Diesel's like this prisoner, and like he had something done to his eye so he can see in the dark. And this planet that they crash onto, though. There's like these creatures out in the middle of the night that are coming after them, and Vin Diesel has to kind of help them to try and get them to safety, since he has the ability to see in this total pitch darkness. And it's kind of like he doesn't want to help them because these are the people that were like kept him prisoner and all these kind of things. This is a great movie. Like I said, though, this is the first of 2 4K releases here from Arrow Video, and like I said, I was so excited when I heard they were starting to release 4K. This has on here, though, a brand new 4K restoration here from Arrow Films, and it has on here the theatrical version as well as the director's cut of the film on here. It has on here some archival features like archival commentary track on here with the director on here, as well as Vin Diesel. It has an archival commentary track on here with the director and the producer and the visual effects artist. It has a brand new, newly recorded interview on here with one of the actresses on here. It has a new interview on here with a couple of different new actor and actress interviews on here. A brand new interview here with the cinematographer. It has on here a newly recorded interview with the, visual effects, supervisor on this one. It has a new interview on here with the composer. The making of Pitch Black, a short behind-the-scenes featurette. It has Pitch Black Raw, a comparison between the CGI test shots and the final footage. It also has on here too the Chronicles of Riddick, Dark. Was it Dark? What was it called? It was called Chronicles of Riddick Dark, which was the animated Chronicles of Riddick movie on here, and it also has though theatrical trailers, and also has trailers for 2 sequels and a video game on this one, and also has a booklet in here which has some pictures from the production, some facts about the movie and all that kind of stuff. But this is a really, really great movie. If you guys have never seen this one, definitely one I would recommend you guys check out. In 4K wise though, this one looks great, like a huge upgrade, with 4K for this one. The other one here, from Arrow Video, 4K, like I said, this is the second of the 4K releases from them, and this is Flash Gordon here, this really cool hardbound collector's set in this one. Now, this one has the 4K version of the film here. Like I said, keep in mind, it only includes the 4K of the film, so it has the 4K version of the film, but also includes the really great documentary. Now, this one is a Blu-ray of the documentary, but Life After Flash, which is a documentary about the star of Flash and, the cast and crew talking about the production and all that kind of stuff. But every time I think of Flash Gordon, though, I think of the movie Ted, because the main actor who played Flash Gordon was in Ted, in both the Ted movies, and he had a really fun part in those movies. But on this one here, though, this is a really, really fun film. But on here, though, this has the director-approved special edition contest, and includes a brand new 4K restoration from Studio Canal from the original camera negative, supervised by the director. It has on here a booklet with new writings by film critic and historian historians, Nir Snowden, Dennis Colazzo, and Paul Checkett, and A.K. Bennett and Kat Ellinger. It has a fold-out double-sided poster on this one. It has an archival commentary track on here, archival commentary track with Brian Blessed. Interviews on here with the actors. It has on here, though, an episode from the animated Flash Gordon TV series on this one. It has Mike Hodges meets the cast for the first time since the 35th anniversary reunion. A 35th anniversary reunion featurette. Cast and crew direct, discuss Flash Gordon. Entertainment Earth on Flash Gordon merchandise. It also has, like I said, the bonus two-disc version, which is a Blu-ray, which has Life After Flash. That is a limited edition exclusive. And that one has the feature-length documentary on there. It has a variety of interviews with the cast and crew on there. On this one, some behind-the-scenes Q&A excerpts. But also in here, though, it has a booklet, like I was saying, that has like stills from the movie, stuff about the production, all that kind of stuff in here. Some great images and stuff like that. Also includes the, I'll show you guys a look, though, inside the discs. Like I said, it has the, it also has lobby cards in here. So it has lobby cards from the film in this one here, as well as it's a 2-disc set, like I was saying, that has the 4K version of the movie, as well as Life After Flash. And then it also has the fold-out poster in this one here as well. And this one is a double-sided poster. This has like the original poster artwork and then the new artwork here that is on the front of the 4K release. And there's also a limited edition, collector's edition like this as well for the version that is not the 4K one as well for this particular release here. But really, really cool 4K releases. Like I said, so excited that Arrow Video is starting to release 4K. The other one here is one I want you guys know is available, and this is from Arrow Video as well. And this one is the film here, Black Test Car. And this one has on here, though, original uncompressed Japanese mono audio on both films. It has 2 different films. It also includes the follow-up film to this one, which was called Black Report. And it also has on here, though, theatrical trailers for both films, image and still galleries for both films as well here. There's also a booklet in here which has some stuff about the films, some stills, and some about the production, and all that kind of stuff as well. Like I said, though, just want you guys to know that this one was available as well from Arrow Video. The next one here is from Universal, and this is one I was really excited to watch. Really, really wanted to see this one. This is directed by Judd Apatow, and it stars Pete Davidson. And this is the movie The King of Staten Island. And this one, though, I will say, though, that it is a very, very sad movie. It's got comedy to it, but it is a heavy drama with the subject matter and everything. But I really like this one. It was a very different role, for Pete Davidson, because, you think of him as much more comedy and everything. And I didn't know that. I had heard that it was like, it had a lot of drama to it, but I didn't know it was as deep with some of that happens in here with his character. And it's basically, though, about, his character, his father had died, when he was 7 years old, and he was a firefighter, and he's living with his mother now. He's been living with his mother, and, his sister's gone off to college. She's just gone off to college, and he's still there, and he's 24 years old, and he's kind of not doing anything, and you see in the very beginning of the movie, though, he's very depressed, and basically he's driving on the highway and closes his eyes, and he's in that kind of a state. He's very, very down about his life and very unhappy, and kind of doesn't know what to do with himself and doesn't know where to go, and doesn't really have a whole lot of career ambitions or anything like that. And his mother, though, ends up meeting this firefighter that she starts to kind of date, and that kind of pushes Pete to try and his character to try and figure out what to do with himself. And the mother wants him to kind of leave the house and kind of go on his own, and it kind of starts off this whole thing of what's he going to do with himself, and kind of what's he going to where is he going to go in his life. And that's essentially what it's about, is just him kind of trying to find himself and figure out what makes him happy. And what he's really into tattooing, and and he's like tattooing his friends and stuff like that, and the friends really don't want him to keep doing that because he's like doesn't always do it exactly the way they're supposed to, and he kind of does these crazy weird tattoos and everything. It's just pretty much just about him and his relationship with his friends and his mother and what he's going to do with his life. But I thought it was really, really well done. A lot of character actors pop up in here, like Steve Buscemi is in the firefighter, one of the firefighters in there. But really, really like this one a lot. I would definitely recommend you guys check this out. Just go into this knowing it is a very sad film, but it has on here, though, a whole bunch of different features. has like it had two alternate endings, some deleted scenes on here. It had on here like production diaries, a whole bunch of different stuff on here. A tribute to Pete Davidson's father. Really great film here. Like I said, this one is King of Staten Island. And the next one I got here is from Universal as well. And this is a movie which is directed by Jon Stewart, and it stars Steve Carell, Rose Byrne, and Chris Cooper, and it's called Irresistible. And this is basically though about Steve Carell's character, and he's like a guy who's like a political consultant, and he kind of helps people to who are running for elections and helps them win and kind of helps their image and those kind of things. And he sees this video that went viral of Chris Cooper's character who goes to this this meeting in the town meeting, and he has all these ideas, and he says he doesn't like the way things are done. And basically though, Steve Carell's character wants to try and kind of up his image and everything and help with clients, and by showing that he can help somebody that's, because he's on the Democratic side, and Chris Cooper's character whose video went viral of him talking, is more of a Republican side, and he thinks though he's got different views that are sort of Democratic, and he kind of wants to go and kind of take him under his wing and help him run for mayor, and that's what he does. And then Rose Byrne's character comes in, and she has like a terrible hatred and doesn't get along at all with Steve Carell, and she's there trying to help the current mayor to continue to win and help his image. And it's kind of this whole back and forth thing in here, and it's got like a whole lot of character actors pop up in here too, like Will Sasso was in this movie, and a whole lot of people. I actually like this one. It has on here though deleted and extended scenes, gag reel, some featurettes on here, as well as Talking to the Legend with Jon Stewart on this one here. The next one here is from Paramount, and this is a movie here called Mighty Oak. And this is basically though about this band that, like, they're right at the point where things are really going well for this band. They're basically going to be like the opening act. I think it was for like Arcade Fire, and like, but they end up getting into this terrible car accident, and the one lead singer of the band ends up dying, and it pretty much breaks up the whole band after this happens, because he was kind of the glue that held the whole band together, and he kind of like, that was like sort of the end of the band. And it kind of cuts to 10 years later, and they're all now, people who are in the band are kind of doing their own things. They're trying to kind of figure out what they're going to do in their lives. And then it's basically though about the sister of the one who had died in the band. She sees this kid, and like he's like this child prodigy who's like he's like kind of knows this band's songs, and he knows their music and everything. And she basically comes to the idea though, this kid is so talented, that she wants this band to come back together again, and she wants to have this kid basically take over for what her brother did in the band. And it's kind of like, because he knows all the songs and he's a huge fan, and it's kind of about like putting together the band and like trying to kind of pick up where they left off and everything. And like, she almost sees this kid as like a reincarnation of her brother. It's a very sad movie, but a lot of people pop up in here too, like Raven-Symone is in the movie. Some of the main actresses in here are like Carlos Penavera and Alexis Penavera. Both of them who are both married in real life. They're both in this film as well. I like this movie though. I thought this one was actually definitely one that's worth watching. It has on here though a behind the scenes featurette on this one here. The next ones here are all from Warner Brothers, and there's some really cool stuff, and Warner Brothers sent over free copies of these ones to let you guys know these are available. And this is one I was so excited about when I heard this was coming to 4K. This is like probably one of my most watched movies of all time, like next to like other one that I hope that Warner Brothers puts on 4K soon is Pee-wee's Big Adventure. But this is the Tim Burton's Beetlejuice, which stars Michael Keaton and of course Winona Ryder. I have watched this movie though so many times. Like, I mean, I cannot even tell you how many times I've watched this movie throughout the years. And it's basically though about this family that ends up moving into this new house because Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis's character in the beginning of the movie, they get into a car accident and go off a cliff and die. And basically, though, they're come back to their old house, and they come back as ghosts. And, essentially, though, they're in this house, and then the new family has moved into where they are, but they're still there as ghosts, and they want this family out of this place. They cannot stand them. They're changing the things and changing the style, and Oath, the character of Oath, is coming there and, like, repainting things and ripping things down and all this kind of stuff. And basically, though, Beetlejuice is kind of like the ghoul, the old ghoul that, like, lives in the graveyard of the model in the house, and basically, though, he wants to help them get them out of this house and stuff like that. That's essentially what it is. But this is such a fun movie that I've watched so many times. Now 4K though, this is a huge improvement on 4K. And the thing with 4K is it's all about the HDR, which is the contrast levels, and the brightness levels is what I always noticed too. And in this movie though, you really see the 4K when they go to like the Netherworld, when they go to like the waiting rooms, because like you know, when you see like the green lighting and all that kind of stuff, it looks so cool in 4K. Like that stuff works great on 4K. So if you guys have 4K capacities, this is 100% worth the upgrade for 4K. The features though are on the old Blu-ray though. So the original Blu-ray release though includes the archival features like episodes from the Beetlejuice TV series, which I loved that series as a kid. And then some featurettes on here, as well as a theatrical trailer. But nothing new though on the 4K or anything. All the features, like I said, are on the archival Blu-ray on here. But 4K wise though, looks great. The other one here from 4K, and Warner Bros. Sent a free copy of this as well. And this is the 4K release here of, you know, Richard Donner's The Goonies, which is another movie. And this one here on the it has kind of like a kind of raised on the slipcover here. But this is another one of those movies that I have watched so many times throughout the years. And this one, if you guys don't know the film, it's about a group of these kids, and they all live in this neighborhood, and it's basically getting bought out and getting turned into like this, I think it's like a country club or something. They're going to tear down all their houses, and they don't, because they don't have the money to pay to continue to live there. And they find this like treasure map in the attic of the house, and they want to go and try and find it, and like One-Eyed Willie's treasure, to kind of get the money to basically be able to stay and live where they are. So it's them kind of going on this journey into the this kind of weird restaurant in the basement to try and find it. And of course, though, the Fratellis are there, and they're like these criminals that got broken up by their mother. And it's always funny to explain a movie that's this old that I've watched so many times, but basically the mother is there, and with these her really weird sons, and they kind of come after these kids and stuff like that. But it is one of those movies, if you've never watched this movie before, and you have 4K too, get it for the first time and watch it on 4K. It looks great. You know, a huge upgrade here. Another one that looks great here on 4K. I feel like the picture upgrade on this one was a little bit better than the Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice looked amazing, but this one looked even more noticeable to me on 4K. I guess because it's a little bit of an older film, a couple years older than Beetlejuice, and you notice it even more, the difference with this, with the transfer on this one, but looks great. And then the Blu-ray has the archival features like the commentary track on there, making of Goonies, the Cyndi Lauper music video, a Good Enough music video, outtakes, and a theatrical trailer on this one. This one here is from Warner Bros. As well. They sent a free copy of this as well. And this is the brand new DC Universe movie, Superman Man of Tomorrow. This has the 4K, the Blu-ray, and the digital code of the film. Now this one is a, an early days version of Superman. So this is like Superman when he was first starting out, and it kind of shows him when he was younger and his early time as Superman, when he's kind of just coming to start working at the, the Daily, was it the Daily Planet? I hope I'm not mixing all that up. Yeah, the Daily Planet, and he's working there, as a reporter, and it's kind of, the stuff of him with the glasses, and he's like switching between Superman and everything. And this even has like a different look at one point before he kind of discovered his Superman look. Like I said, it's his very early stages of him as a Superman, and it's him with this one villain that's coming after him. And it's kind of just him sort of starting out early on and the whole thing. But I like seeing this one because it was a very different, because a lot of times when you see a Superman story, it kind of cuts into later in his life when he gets into the Justice League and that kind of period of his time. This is earlier on when he was just starting out. So kind of like more of a prequel, to him. But this one has on here, though, it has 2 episodes, archival bonus Superman shorts on this one. It has a sneak peek at the next DC Universe movie. Some featurettes on this one here, but 4K wise as well. Looks great here on 4K. Like I said, quite often too, animated films always look even better on 4K, I've noticed. So this one looks great here on 4K. This one here is from Warner Brothers as well. And this is the the complete 5th season here, and they sent a free copy of this as well of Supergirl, the complete 5th season here. And I kept this on here too, just to say it includes a limited bonus disc which has all 5 DC crossover episodes on this one here. And this one, I've not seen all the episodes of Supergirl, so it's kind of hard to explain the whole plot of the show. But I've watched, throughout the years I've been, reviewing the show, and I've watched, selective episodes here and there. And what I've seen of this show, it's probably one of my favorite of all the, the DC, superhero shows that I've watched. I would say this is probably one of my favorite ones, with what happens and everything on the show. But this has on here, though, a bunch of different features. It has, the Best of DC's Comic-Con panel 2019. It has deleted scenes. It has a gag reel on this one. And also in here, too, it includes a, episode guide, and it lets you know, which features are on which ones. So, like, for example, episode, the disc 3, episode 11 has, a deleted scene, so it lets you know the kind of stuff that's on it. And this one here is also, it is a 4-disc set, and then, as I was saying too, it includes the bonus you know, the crossover episode where the shows kind of all connect together. But yeah, though, like I was saying, I wanted to let you guys know that this one's available if you guys are a fan of the show, and this is a Supergirl, the complete 5th season here on Blu-ray. The next one here is one that you guys know is available from Warner Bros. As well. They sent over a free copy of this as well, and this is a Succession, the complete 2nd season here on a DVD. Now, this is a show, I watched a couple episodes of the 1st season. It was a pretty cool show. It's basically, though, this family that's kind of like this whole family where it's like they come from all this money, and they have all sorts of like problems, and it's kind of like these heavy family dramas going on. It's all kind of run by Brian Cox's character, who's like the head of the family, and they have all kind of problems, and they're all like kind of like a power thing when they all have like trying to get to the top, and it's like kind of like, you know, kind of doing whatever it takes to get there, and all fighting with each other, and there are all sorts of family dramas going on, and with their, you know, all sorts of like, it's basically like every kind of problem you can imagine going on with this whole group, but is a really, really well done character piece show here. This one has on here the invitation to the set with the series storytellers, and it also has 10 inside the episodes featurettes on this one here as well. The next one here is from Warner Bros. As well. They sent out a free copy of this one here, and this one is a movie that aired on HBO, and this is Bad Education, which stars Hugh Jackman and Allison Janney. And this is basically, though, about this school, and you know, Hugh Jackman is kind of the head of the, he was like the superintendent, and Allison Janney's character was like in charge of the school. And basically, though, this kid who was like writing this paper kind of had discovered, though, that this whole school, and this is based on a true thing, you know, that had they were basically embezzling money, and this kid kind of discovered that things were up with the funds, and it kind of turns this whole school on its head, and it's kind of like kind of discovering what was going on there with the school and the money, and it becomes this whole big thing, and kind of like this cover-up, and what they're going to do, and the kind of stuff that Allison Janney's character was up to, and all these type of things, and it's kind of like what they're going to do, and how they're going to handle it, and all this kind of stuff. This is a really, really well done film. This is from the director who also did the film Thoroughbreds. He did that one before this movie, which I like that movie a lot as well. This one has on here, though, feature-wise, it has based on a true story. It has on here the Perception of Perfection with Hugh Jackman and Allison Janney, a virtual conversation on this one here. This one here is from, you know, the Warner Archive here, and this is the complete 3rd season here of Young Sheldon. This is a really fun show. This is the, you know, basically this is the character of Sheldon Cooper, you know, from The Big Bang Theory, but when he was a kid, and this is all kind of about his family and his, you know, relationship with his brothers and his sister and his parents and everything. And it's kind of just like he's a super smart kid, and he's kind of like you know, he's basically like the most intelligent person at the house. And because of that, though, he has a lot of problems with his family, and they kind of give him some grief and stuff. And he gets a lot of grief in school because he's so intelligent. And he's kind of like, you know, he kind of has all these quips and like opinions about things, and he kind of points people's problems out when they're wrong about stuff. And he's like, you know, like they said, this super smart kid, but it's a really, really fun show, and it's just kind of all about his family, stuff that goes on with his family and the problems and all that kind of stuff. This has on here, though, a featurette on the show, but I really like this show a lot. If you guys are a fan, though, of The Big Bang Theory, this is, you know, like I said, this is basically the character of Sheldon Cooper, but when he was a kid, and his whole family and all that kind of stuff on this one here. The next one here is from the Warner Archive, and I'll have a link below where you guys can order this one for the best price. And it's a movie here which stars Burt Weller and Robert Wosley, as well as Spanky, you know, who was from the Little Rascals. And this one here is Kentucky Colonels. And this is a fun movie. It's basically, though, you know, about like these two guys, and they're like this one guy ends up like kind of like they discover that he's jumped off of a bridge, and they bring him into the house. They find out he's really depressed, and they kind of think, what can we do to make this guy happy? And they'll go, oh well, maybe he could get a girlfriend. And he's like, oh, he's had his own problems with his girlfriend. And he's like, oh well, maybe we could get him a kid if he has a kid. And they like go to the adoption agency and adopt this kid, and they adopt the character, you know, Spanky, and basically adopt him. But then like the guy ends up getting back with his girlfriend, and that was why he jumped off the bridge to begin with. And then these two guys are stuck with the kid, and it becomes this whole big scheme and everything because of this kid they find out with his money and stuff. It's a fun movie. This is from a movie was from 1934, so this is right around the time of Little Rascals. our gang when this was, filmed. And the next one I got here is from moviezing.com as well, and this is also from 1091. And it's a movie here called Starlight, which stars Scout Taylor-Compton. Now, this is from the director, last movie he did, I loved it. It was called The Night Watchman. In case you guys have never seen this movie, this one is an absolute must-watch. Like, I love this movie. This one, though, this one also has, this stars Scout Taylor-Compton, and also Tiffany Shepis is in this movie as well. She was also in The Night Watchman as well. This is basically, though, about this kid who's kind of having like a strained relationship with his mother, who's played by Tiffany Shepis, and she brings in this guy who's like her, who's like this preacher. She's the preacher that she starts dating, and he keeps giving the kid all kinds of grief about his life and what he's doing and everything. And he leaves the one night, and and his character too, he's really obsessed with this pop star who's played by Scout Taylor-Compton, and he's got like her picture all over the wall, and he's always listening to her music. And the one day he's always going to this gas station playing this video game, and the one night when he's leaving, he ends up, this girl runs into him real fast, and she's like injured, and he's like, that girl looks a lot like that pop star, and it's like, and it is, it's like this girl, it's like, what is she doing here and everything. And he ends up bringing her back to his friend's house where we're having this party, and they're all like looking at her going, that kind of looks like her. I don't know, probably just somebody that looks kind of like her. And basically, though, there's this weird guy with long hair, though, who's coming after her, trying to find her. And like, he's great. Like, that guy was amazing in this movie. Like, he was so good, that actor. And it's basically, though, like, and he, like, when he takes his hair down, he gets like crazy. But it's basically, though, it's hard to explain this movie. It's got vibes of like Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight, mixed with stuff like Night of the Creeps. It kind of has like a mixture of all these different things together, all combined into one. And basically, though, Scout Taylor-Compton's character has some sort of, something is off about her a little bit. And that's kind of all you can say. And that this guy is trying to find her and get her back. And that's basically what's going on. It's got some crazy, like, gore in this movie. And this is an absolute must-watch. This one gets a top recommendation. I really, really love this movie a lot. If you guys have seen this one, too, let me know what you guys thought of this. The next one here is from moviezing.com as well. And this is also from Lionsgate. This is a movie here called Shadow of Violence. This is basically, though, about this guy, it's set in Ireland, and he was a boxer, and he kind of was, like, successful as a boxer, but he ended up leaving this, and he ends up, kind of, he's basically like him with his family and these group of these people that he's with, and, they're kind of, it's not a great group of people, and he really wants to get back to what he loved, which was boxing and all that kind of stuff, and his family, though, the people that he's with are kind of, like, into, doing bad stuff and all these type of stuff with drug dealings and all this stuff, and they want him to kill somebody, and he doesn't want to do this, and it's kind of like this downward spiral of his life. And he's also with this one kid that he's with, and the kid, though, was in like a bunch of different stuff like Dunkirk and Killing of a Sacred Deer and a bunch of different films. And it's basically him kind of a struggle of what he's going to do and if he wants to go in this direction and that kind of stuff here. But a really, really well done character piece, drama film here. The next one here is from RLJ Entertainment. This is also a Shudder original movie. This is a movie here called Z. And this one I really like. This is basically, though, the kid who's in here too was the basis of The Boy, the movie The Boy. He was in the real life version of The Boy. And it's basically, though, I watched this one a couple weeks back, so hopefully I remember all the details right. But he's basically, though, this kid has this imaginary friend. He's always saying like, oh yeah, Z told me this, and Z was telling me to do this and everything. But what's going on, though, is violence, and very violent things are happening around this kid. And it's kind of as if like, okay, is this kid dangerous? And the mother's trying to figure this out, and like the people around him are trying to figure out like what is going on. It's like this kid like is, because they're thinking that's not an imaginary friend. It's like, you know what I mean? But like it's looking as if maybe there's something around here and some kind of an evil entity around this kid, and the mother is trying to get to the bottom of what all this means. And because like I said, terrible things are happening to like the kid's friend, and all these type of things are happening, and it's looking like this kid is involved, but it's kind of like, oh, how is he involved in this whole thing? But it's actually very creepy. There's some really, really creepy visuals in here for the the character of Z, and it kind of has vibes a little bit to the movie Babadook. It has that sort of feel to this one a little bit, but I would definitely recommend you guys check this one out here. The next one here is a movie that's a similar kind of film here, and this is from Wellgo USA, and it's called Evil Boy. And this one is basically, though, about like these parents end up adopting this kid, and he's kind of like a boy that was like living out in the middle of the woods and stuff like that, and they adopt this kid. And it's a similar kind of concept, though. But it's basically, though, about a bad kid, more of a bad kid kind of movie, and they basically bring this kid back, and it's basically though, there's something, they believe that there's something off with this kid, and like weird sort of things start to happen, and the kid is like, it's kind of like has vibes of like Orphan and mixed with The Omen and all those kind of things together in this one here. This one has on here though the English language track as well as the Russian language version, as well as trailers here on this one. The next one here is a movie, this is from Prolific Pictures, and it's called Infestation, and this is basically though about like this woman who has like a radio show talking about like aliens and that kind of stuff, and she doesn't really believe in this stuff. She kind of just does this show because it's, it's popularity and popular and people are listening to it, but she doesn't really believe what she's talking about. And basically though, she starts to kind of like hearing weird sort of sounds in the sky, and it's like kind of like things that's making her think that maybe there might be something out there, and might be actually some kind of a alien type invasion thing that's coming on or something like that. But like she's also noticing people around her are kind of different acting, and there's like something off about people, and it's kind of making her like all of a sudden now start to believe this, but then like she's kind of coming across as a little bit crazy, and as well, because she's getting so over the top about what's going on, because she was so like kind of not believing it before and kind of putting it on like she did for the show. And it's basically though just her trying to figure out exactly what's going on, and trying to get to the bottom of this whole thing, and talking to other people that are experiencing these type of things here as well. But this one here is called Infestation. This one here is from what was the company here? From Devilworks, I believe. I don't know if the other company, I think it was, I don't know for sure the other company, but I'll have a link below though. But this is from Devilworks. It's a movie here called Widow's Point, which is directed here by Greg Lamberson. This is about a guy who's like this writer, who he's kind of a successful writer, like it's sort of like a Stephen King kind of guy that writes like horror books and mystery books and things like that. And he wants to do like publicity for his book to try and kind of get attention. So he goes into this this lighthouse where it had kind of like a history of ghostly things had happened, and paranormal type things there. So he goes there and wants to kind of film the whole thing and kind of do like a reality type show where there's like hidden cameras and everything in there. Of course, every time you do something like that, it never ends up being a good thing, and he ends up going in there and weird sort of things start to happen. He starts experiencing weird things, and kind of like what's happening here. I actually like this one a lot. This one has on here feature-wise alternate takes, commentary track, behind the scenes, and deleted scenes on this one here. This one here is from a company called Reel to Reel. It's a movie here called Time Loop, and this is a pretty cool like time travel movie about this kid who's with his father working on this time travel device thing that they walk through. In the beginning of the movie though, you see they're working on it, and they kind of say, oh, I think we've got it figured out. And the kid's like, yeah, I think it's set up, and they turned it on, and it looks like it didn't work. But all of a sudden though, it's kind of opened up this loop, and like the kid is like going, and he goes to like see his girlfriend in town, but then he starts like sees like another version of himself. And it's basically though this time thing that they've opened has kind of caused all these different parallel dimensions and alternate versions of himself that are there at the same time, and like they kind of connect and collide with each other. And it kind of is one of those things where things start going really wrong, and he's like kind of not supposed to like see himself, and it has all these different things. Like if he bumps into himself, it can cause another problem. If he sees each other this way, then it causes another problem, so it's kind of like it's like a domino effect of all these type of problems. And it's basically though them trying to figure out exactly how to fix all this stuff and what exactly is going on. But it was a really interesting time travel movie here called, like I said, called Time Loop. And the next one I got here is from the MVD Rewind collection. Now, this is one, when I heard this was releasing, I was so excited because I've always loved this movie. And I was so glad this is finally coming to Blu-ray. And like I said, this is from the MVD Rewind collection, and it's the film here, Mikey. And I love, too, the way that MVD designs the slipcovers on these releases, because it's done to look like an old video store rental. So it says, like, horror, please rewind me on their sticker. It has, like, video update, kind of like an old video store sticker that kind of peeled off with the store's location and everything on it. But this is basically a movie, though, about this bad kid. Kind of like an R-rated prom child, essentially. It's basically this kid, in the beginning of the movie, you see, like, he kills his step-parents, and then he gets, like, moved, but he like, kind of blames it on, like, a murder murder that came in, and he gets moved on to a new family, and he kind of comes to the new family, and he likes the family at first, of course, though, then they do stuff little by little that kind of annoys him, and it's kind of like, well, it's not going to be too good for this family, and the kid, like, he has like an obsession with the one neighbor, the next door neighbor, this girl, and everything, but the kid, though, is, Brian Bonsell, who was in, went on to, like, a year or two later, be in Blank Check as the main kid, Preston, in Blank Check. So this is such a different movie than he went on to do with the Disney film, because this is like a super R-rated movie. But this is a great movie, like a bad killer kid movie. Like I said, so glad this is now on Blu-ray, and it has on here, though, the high definition transfer on here looks great on Blu-ray. It also has a feature-length documentary, The Making of Mikey, and it has an interview on here with Brian Bosnell, who plays Mikey. It has, with the director on this one, as well as the editor and the director of photography. It has anatomy of a scene here, a brand new anatomy of a scene with the director talking about the film, a theatrical trailer. Also in here as well, it includes a collectible mini poster in here for the movie as well. But like I said, if you guys have never seen this movie, this one is an absolute must-watch, and one of those ones I was so excited when it finally has gotten a Blu-ray release now. The next one here is from the MVD Rewind collection as well. This is one I want you guys know is available. This one here is a double feature, which includes Blood Fight and Iron Heart, and this one has on here like martial arts, action, adult action, Please Be Kind and Rewind, $2 per week rental on this one. Like I said, I love the way that these ones are designed here. Like I said, one of you guys know that this one, was available here, and this has a double feature with Blood Fight and Ironheart. The other one here from the MVD Rewind collection as well. This is a movie which stars Rutger Hauer. I love the artwork on this cover here. And this is a movie here called Split Second. This one here has on here, though, the high definition transfer on here, newly restored and scanned in 4K from the 35mm intro negative on this one. Has a brand new commentary track on here with action film historian Mike Ledger and filmmaker Aaron Verman. It has on here a new big, great bloody guts in here with the producer and actor on this one. It has on here Call Me Snipes, an interview with the composer of the film, interview on here with the line producer. These are all new interviews. It has an interview on here with the creature effects designer on this one, interview with the cinematographer, an archival making of from 1992, an original behind the scenes making of. It has on here the Split Second, the full frame, burn-in subtitles Japanese version of the film. Has deleted scenes from the Japanese cut, theatrical trailers, U.S. Theatrical, U.S. home video premiere trailer on this one, promo, and also has a reversible sleeve on this one with reversible artwork for this one. This is kind of like the original artwork for this one. It also has in here a mini poster for the movie as well, but a really, really cool movie here, as well. Like I said, love the way these Rewind collections are, designed and everything. And then this other one here is from MVD as well. It's a movie here called Max Reload and the Nether Blasters, and this one has Kevin Smith in this movie. And this is basically, though, about these guys that it's like a kind of a video game that has like a history behind it, and they found this game, and they believed that there was no more of this one left. It was kind of like the last in this game in existence. And of course, though, the kid ends up playing this, and kind of like the friends, like weird things start to happen to the friends. They kind of turn into zombies, and it's kind of like a real life video game that he's in, and he has to try and like figure out how to beat this game and save his friends and stuff like that. But this is a really fun movie. I love Kevin Smith's part in this movie as well. But this has a bunch of different featurettes on here, and the special effects, visual effects featurettes on here, as well as a theatrical trailer on this one here. Like I said, this one is called Max Reload and the Nether Blasters. The next one here is from Vinegar Syndrome. This is a movie which stars Malcolm McDowell and Madeline Smith. Madeline Smith was in the movie Funny Farm with Chevy Chase, but she's in a bunch of different stuff, but Funny Farm is the one I always think of her from. Like I said, this is from Vinegar Syndrome. And this is basically, though, this whole cast is just Malcolm McDowell and Madeline Smith. And basically, though, Malcolm McDowell kind of comes to the door and needs help to make a phone. He needs to make a phone call, and he ends up, Madeline Smith ends up letting him in. And it's kind of like this this weird kind of thing about them, like talking, and you find out more and more, and she's kind of like, he kind of won't leave, and he's kind of like hanging around, and there's something off and weird going on. It's very hard to explain movie, but it's a really interesting character piece, and it's kind of like these mind games that his character is playing, and it has like this twist at the end too, without saying anything, that like I totally was not expecting at all. But this is a really cool movie. This is newly restored in 2K from original 35mm interpositive. Has an interview on here with the director. Has an audio interview on here with the writer. Has promotional still gallery on this one here. This one here is from Cleopatra Entertainment, and this was great. This gets a top recommendation. This is a really, really cool, super gory movie here called Game of Death, which I feel like probably a lot of people have not heard of, and this is a must watch. And it's a really quick movie too. It's only like 70 minutes long, and it's basically though about these kids that end up like they're at this house and they discover this like kind of old board game called Game of Death. It's not really a board game. It's like this circular game, and they basically go, oh, we should play this, and they all put their finger on the thing, and it pricks their finger and draws blood, and it brings up this number that says, like, I think it was like 30 people or something like that on it, and it says like, you must kill 30 people, and they're like, what? And then like if they don't, they figure out right away that they have to do this because the one character's head explodes, like blows up. This is a super, super, super gory movie, and basically though they have to kind of go and figure out exactly how they're going to do this, and they kind of go on like figure out how they're going to kill people, if they're going to be able to handle this, and if they don't, their heads blow up. And it's a absolutely bonkers, insane movie. Really, really cool music. I love this movie. This one is so good. Like I think it's a French-Canadian movie. I think it was shot it's in English though, but I believe it was shot like in like Quebec or one of the areas like the French-speaking parts of Canada, I believe. I might be wrong about that because it even had some French music in it, which I really liked. But this one was so good, like super gory, must watch here. This one I just want to let you guys know is available from Blue Underground. It's a movie here called, which stars. It was directed by Jess Franco, and it's called Cecilia. Here, this is one I want you guys know was available though. But this one has on here though. This has the rare original cut of the film in Spanish with English subtitles. It has an interview on here with the director. Has an interview on here with Stephen Thrower, author of Murder's Passions, The Delirious Cinemas of Jess Franco. It has also has a feature-length documentary on the career of Jess Franco, theatrical trailer and a steel gallery on this one here as well. Like I said, this one here is called Cecilia. This movie here is from Indican Pictures, and it's called Cannibal Corpse Killers. And this is kind of like a Mad Max kind of movie, but like with zombies and stuff like that. It's about a group of people who are out, like, and it's like post-apocalyptic kind of movie. And they're kind of out like in the middle of nowhere trying to survive, and they're kind of trying to get to shelter, but they're kind of going, and it also has like feels of like an old Western as well, like a Western, Mad Max, and all these kind of things all combined together, but they're out there and there's zombies coming after them, so they're trying to get to shelter and find out where to kind of hide out and live, but while at the same time they're going after all these kind of creatures, I mean like zombies and stuff are coming after them and everything. I like this movie. This is actually a very cool movie. This has deleted scenes on here, as well as some featurettes on the movie here as well, and also in this cool kind of yellow case. This one here is from Lightyear Entertainment. It's a movie here called Crashed. And this is basically, though, about a group of these girls. And, like, they're all friends. And the one girl, though, is, like, a virgin, and they're in college. And they're kind of, like, want to try and help her, lose her virginity. So it's that kind of a movie about them trying to do that, but at the same time they want to go to this this party for like where you go with your crush and you kind of like invite them, and you like it's somebody that you never had talked to before, and you kind of see if they'll come with you to this party. So it's kind of like they're trying to find her to like lose her virginity before this, so you can go to this party and that kind of stuff and find her crush. And it's basically though her trying to figure out exactly who she wants to go out with, and she's kind of trying to help her, have her friends help her out, try and like give her advice and all this kind of stuff. So they have all sorts of little problems that happen and everything. This is a very, very fun movie. This has a commentary track on here with the director. It also has a Q&A on here as well. This one here is from this is called from Liberation Hall is the name of the company, and this is a movie I remember this years back, like seeing this I think on VHS, and it's called Senior Week. It's about a group of these friends. It's kind of like sort of like a Revenge of the Nerds, like a ski school, like all those kind of ones together, but like a super low budget one. Like I said, it's called Senior Week, and it says Porky's meets One Crazy Summer. Yeah, it has vibes of Porky's as well. And it's basically though it's a group of these friends who are going on a road trip to Florida, and it's kind of like all the kind of things that go on, and it's like the one teacher though is coming after them too, because he like has to owe this work and stuff like that. So it's like kind of all these goofy, ridiculous kind of encounters and stuff like that that happen along the way for these kids. This is a really fun movie. Like I said, I remember seeing this one years back on VHS. But this has on here though 25 minutes of behind the scenes on here, making a low budget movie on this one here. And the last ones here are all from Wild Eye Releasing, a whole bunch of really cool releases here to let you guys know that are available. And the first one is a film which I have a part in, and it's called American Sasquatch. This is basically about a group of these people who have like a paranormal kind of hunting TV show, and they want to go and try and track down Bigfoot. So they want to kind of follow this and do a documentary about finding Bigfoot and like try and track him down. And throughout the movie though, they are, you know, there's playing clips of me talking about like the history of Bigfoot, like I'm at home talking about Bigfoot and like facts about him and all these different kind of things about him and everything. So I'm like throughout the movie. But it's a really fun movie here. Like I said, this is called American Sasquatch. The next one here is a movie from Dustin Ferguson called Robo Woman. This is basically though about this woman who was attacked, terribly attacked by these men, and she kind of gets her life saved, and she gets turned into this robot, and like kind of like a RoboCop type thing, where she basically is going and getting revenge on these people that were involved in this kind of thing and taking out bad guys and stuff like that. This is a really cool revenge robot film here, like I said, called Robo Woman. The other one here is from Dustin Ferguson as well, and this is Amityville Clown House, and this one features Mark Patton, of course, who was the star of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, and this is Amityville Clown House. And this is a really fun movie. This is basically though, it's like about a group of these people who were like trying to go in this place and steal this painting of this clown, and like in the beginning you see this like evil clown kill these people, and of course so they end up getting this clown painting, and then like bad things happen to them, and it's kind of dealing with the clown painting. It's also dealing with like this toy, and it's kind of haunting this couple and stuff like that. But it's basically though a lot of it is resulting from this clown, this terrible evil clown. And Mark Patton's character, he's like the guy who runs this like antique shop and stuff in the movie. But this is a very cool movie. Like I said, this is called Amityville Clown House. This one here is called Parts Unknown, and this is basically though about these wrestlers, and they kind of like basically crack up, and like things do not go well for this wrestling group, and they end up like making this deal with this entity and stuff like that. But they basically though kind of crack up this demonic force that they made this deal with, but they kind of crack up and then go on this like killing spree, and they're going around like killing people, and like it kind of gets worse and worse and worse for these characters, and they kind of are doing worse and worse stuff. But this is actually a very cool movie. This one has on here cast and crew interviews on this one, as well as trailers for other Wild Eye Releasing titles. This one here is called The Streets Run Red, and this is from the Wild Eye Rolling Extreme line here. And this is basically though about this cop who is trying to cop and his partner who's trying to track down this serial killer, and it's like the serial killer that kills, like he's like super violent, like one of the violent, like worst kind of like serial killers out there, and like he's trying to track him down. But it's basically though like one of those kind of things where it's like kind of comes to all these different kind of problems, and it's one of those things too, he doesn't know who you can trust and all this stuff. But it's a super gory, intense movie here, and this one has a teaser and trailers on this release here. This one here is called Creature Cabin, and this is basically though about this this girl who ends up going out with a group of her friends after this cabin, and this movie has like a total vibe of like Evil Dead, like it has a real Evil Dead feel with the lighting and the creatures and everything. Some really cool creatures in this, but they basically go out to this cabin, and it's kind of like they end up out there with all these evil kind of creatures. Like I said, it has a total Evil Dead vibe, and they're all out there trying to figure out how they're survive and what they're going to do and all this stuff. But this one is definitely an absolute must watch here. This one has a behind the scenes documentary, special effects featurette on this one, as well as trailers. This one here is from Wild Eye as well, and this is called An Evil Tale. And this is basically though about like this one's kind of hard to explain. It's basically like about like this possessed doll. It's kind of like a doll that they discover in the house, but then it was kind of like there's also sort of paranormal kind of stuff with other objects in the house as well. It's kind of like they're trying to get to the bottom of what it all means and how to kind of deal, because they get this relic that they got in you know, this antique shop, and they brought it back to the house, and then it kind of like starts causing kind of things in the house and all these kind of problems and that kind of stuff. But this one has on here haunted cast interviews, behind the scenes on this one, haunted movie location, and as well as trailers on this one. And the last one here to let you guys know is available is a movie here called Mind Rage. This is Mind Rage, and this is the director's cut. This is a movie from back in 2001, which stars Tippi Hedren, and this is like a serial killer movie, and it's kind of like the police detectives are trying to track this down, and it kind of leads them to like this kind of connection to this, like it kind of connects these three people together and everything. This is a pretty cool movie here. I never saw this one from back, you know, when this one originally released back in the day. I feel like I remember the title, but I know I had never seen this before. This one has bonus trailers on this one here. But anyway though, guys, I know there's lots and lots of reviews in this video, but thanks again for watching, subscribing, and I'll see you guys later.